Hey everybody, Kat Carter, Academic and Career Advisor here at Asnuntuck Community College. So sorry we couldn't be there in person this year. I hope all of you are staying safe, staying healthy, as well as your family, friends, anybody who's important in your life. We miss you. We want to get back out there, and all fingers crossed that we will be back on campus next fall, and hopefully y'all can be there to visit with us, all right? In the spirit of Career Day, I was asked to put together a 1 to 3 minute video talking about everyone's favorite, soft skills, right? Soft skills generally are that term that people hear and their eyes roll so hard they fall in the back of their head, they nearly fall over. Things like communication, attire, handshake, eye contact, things like that, okay? Here's the deal. I have taught career development at ACC now for going on 6 years. I taught it for 2 years at Quinnipiac, 2 years at UConn, year and a half at Eastern, right? I've been all over the state at 2-year and 4-year schools prepping students for whatever that next step is for them. Could be a part-time job, could be a full-time job. It could be you want to go to college and that college requires an admissions interview, right? Wherever you lead next, you're going to have to go through some type of interview process. So let's make this as painless as possible, all right? I'm going to give you a crash course. Or as my grandmother used to say, the Reader's Digest version of what are the most important soft skills. There's no way I can get it done in 1 to 3 minutes. I used to teach this as a 15-week course. So you'll get a handout. Maybe you'll read it. I hope you will. Please don't just toss it right in the trash. If you're going to get rid of it, at least put it in the recycling or hang on to it, right? Because at one point in your life, probably more than that, I can promise you this stuff is going to be important, okay? Let's start with the number one thing. What do you wear? What do you show up in? I mean, that depends. What are you comfortable in, right? You don't need to wear a prom dress. You don't need to wear a tuxedo, but you shouldn't be wearing jeans, sweatpants, pajama pants, right? I wish I didn't have to say that, but man, you should see some of the things that some of my students show up to class in. Here's the important thing to remember. Find somebody, a mentor, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, somebody who's had a professional life that you experience, which means that you value their opinion, right? Find an outfit that you think holds up, get their opinion. Walk around in that outfit, be comfortable. I know that sounds really strange, but especially in today's day and age, a lot of us, man, I can't remember the last time I put on a button-down shirt, right? Because I've been in my office at home with my 4-year-old and 9-month-old for the last year. Pray for me, right? Think of me. I think of you all often. And get their opinion. All right, my buddy Joe, who was my old supervisor at Quinnipiac, showed up to an interview one time for a radio station. He had khakis on, a nice button-down collared shirt. He looked great. The person who interviewed him, I kid you not, showed up in pajama pants, right? Because radio is just a whole different culture in and of itself. The moral of that story is that you can never be too overdressed for an interview, however. All right, if you're overdressed for an interview, you can still get an offer. If you're underdressed, they're going to cut you immediately, all right? So think about what you're going to wear. Arrival time. I tell my students to show up to the place where they are interviewing 15 to 20 minutes. You always want to plan for traffic, getting lost, things like that. But don't check in until 5 minutes before your interview is about to start, right? If you check in earlier than that, the message, unintended or not, is telling them, hey, I'm here. It's time to see me. I don't really value the time and everything that you're doing before I show up. All right, if you show up 5 minutes or later, right? If you show up later than 5 minutes, the message that you're sending them is like, just made it, right? 5 minutes is that sweet spot. I'm here, I'm ready, but I'm not too early. That's when you're going to show up, all right? Earbuds. You're not Secret Service and you're not your own personal DJ for whatever music festival you're hitting up, which I know makes me sound really, really bad like a mom, and I don't mean it to. But take your earbuds out. Okay, I'm sure there are many of you who are watching this video right now who have your earbuds in. The message, again, unintended or not, that you're sending to employers is that you are more important than them and you can't be bothered to get rid of them. Please take them out. It's very powerful to show up without them. All right. Number 4, you are going to go into an interview and you're going to have some hopefully very rich conversations. Before you leave that room, you're going to grab the business card of the person and or people who interview you. Then you're going to go back to your car, a nice bench outside if it's a beautiful day, the bus, your friend's car, whoever got you there, and you're going to take notes on what you talked about. So that when we roll into number 5, which is the thank you note, you have something specific to talk about in your follow-up, okay? When you show up to the interview, one of the things that you are going to show up prepared with is a pen and paper, a pad of paper, right? Something to take notes on. On that pad of paper, you're also going to have at least 5 questions that you're prepared to ask them. Because I guarantee you, any interview you go into, at the end, they're going to say, Do you have any questions for us? And you don't want to be caught without any questions, okay? You're not necessarily going to ask all 5. I tell students to show up with 5 because inevitably in the conversation of the interview, some of those questions are going to get asked. So if you show up with 5 and 3 of them get asked, you've still got 2, right, that you can throw out there and look like you prepared because you did prepare. The very last question you're going to ask for any interview is this: what's the timeline and or next steps in the hiring process? Because this is going to influence what kind of thank you note you send, all right? If their next step in the hiring process is tonight, tomorrow, the next day, right, sometime within the next 48 hours that they're going to be making an offer, you're going to send an email thank you note to them. If their next hiring process is 48 hours, beyond 48 hours, you are going to do the old-fashioned thing and write a good old-fashioned thank you note. Okay, you can get a box of 20 thank you notes for $5, $6 at Stop and Shop, CVS, Walgreens, wherever you do your shopping. And that handwritten thank you note is going to make you stand out in a very positive way amongst all the other applicants, okay? If the hiring process is sooner, you're going to send an email. Farther than 48 hours, you're going to send that old-fashioned handwritten thank you note. You're going to have the address and email of them because you took their business card, right? And in that thank you note, you're going to talk about something specific because you took notes on what the conversation entailed, right? Dear Maggie, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to interview me for the position of X, Y, and Z. I really enjoyed talking about and I'm even more excited about the position based on A, B, C, D, E. All right. Look forward to hearing from you. Please let me know if there's any other information I can get you. Just want to reiterate my interest in the position. Sincerely yours, in my name, Kat Carter. All right. That's 5 things, believe it or not. And I did it in, 7 minutes. That's not bad for me. Hopefully they're not going to cut me off and make this shorter. Again, my name is Kat Carter, Academic and Career Advisor at Asnuntuck. Please feel free to email me or call me if you have any questions. You can email me at ccarter@asnuntuck.edu, or you can call me at my direct line, which is 860-253-3072. I hope you guys are staying safe. Take care, and hopefully we'll see you soon.